You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney Theme Parks podcast, and this is show number 385 for the Sunday, the 14th of November, 2021.
Where dreams begin.
Well, hello and welcome to this week's Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my jolly good chum Jayne Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Hello there, Phipsy.
Hello there, Michelle, and how are we this fine week?
Well, as of release today, I am literally marching with the cadets for our service of remembrance.
Ah, you're multitasking then.
I am multitasking. I am here in spirit, but not in body. My body is leading the cadet force parade to the church, through the town, to the cenotaph, back to my detachment I'm in charge of. Then I am saying bye-bye to the cadets. They can go home and have their own lunch after I am providing them breakfast before the services. And I will be going to a local hostelry and having a couple of sherbets. Well earned, I think, because the eyes of my hometown will be on me as I lead the parade and my cadets, and I hope none of us end up doing what we call in the army circles tick-tocking.
What does tick-tocking mean?
Well, you see, whenever I think of TikTok, I always think of never smile at a crocodile. That's the only thing that comes into my head, and I always smirk, and it's a really, really bad thing when your arms and feet are not in perfect symmetry. And it's when you are moving your arm on the leg on the same side of the body and not doing opposing sides.
Right. Oh, I feel like I need to come along and inspect you now.
No. Not happily lovely at all. Not at all. And last weekend, of course, over here in the UK was our big celebratory weekend where we celebrated basically someone trying to blow up Parliament, failing.
As you do. Yeah.
And every year, because of a quirky British sense of humour, we explode things to remember them.
Well, why not?
Yeah, because we're British.
Oh, yeah, but fireworks are, we all like to stand there and go, ooh, ah. And then as Disney fans, what do we all say? Well, it's all right, but it's not quite as good as Disney World, is it? Or something along those lines.
Since I've been to Walt Disney World and Disneyland Paris, I never look at fireworks the same because it's like, oh, is that it?
Yeah.
If it doesn't last 22 minutes with matching scene, soundtrack and everything, it's like, nah, that's rubbish. Not for me.
We have been rather spoiled, haven't we? That's one of the perils of being a Disney fan when it comes to fireworks in the UK. We go, oh, yeah, they're lovely, but...
But, yeah. I do remember one year I went to a particular spectacular show with our lovely friend Mark Peter, and he actually put on the music of Illuminations from Epcot, so that was great.
Nice.
Yeah, bless him. Aww. Anyway, we've got a podcast to go through, Jayne, and I gather, my gorgeous one, as you are, I suppose now you've basically are getting towards that empty nest type thing where you've got one child to dispatch and jettison out of the building, and then it's yours and Simon's playhouse, really.
I beg your pardon. Yes, it's I am a daughter down. My moles has moved out as of bonfire weekend, so it was lots of bangs and stuff going off down there as well. But she's moved out into her fella's house, and so I've now only got one child. Not that I can call him a child at nearly 24, but just one more to go, and then freedom. I love them to bits. I am being a little bit facetious about that, but I just want them to both be able to do what they want to do. When they want to do it and be happy doing it. So one sorted, just got one more to sort now.
I know, and at the beginning of December, Kieran's leaving home again. It's like a boomerang, is Kieran. He leaves, he comes back, he leaves, he comes back, he leaves, he comes back.
It's all cracking off, isn't it?
I know. I don't think it'd take more than a firework to get Emily out of the house. I'm too nice to her. All this free babysitting and... meals being made and washing being done. I need to start being a little bit harsher.
But you're a soppy grandma.
A soppy grandma, and looking forward to Christmas.
Mm.
Anyway, many years ago, we were going to have some Disney news, and on this day in Disney history.
Mm-hmm. Shall we crack on with some history then?
Go on, lovely.
Right, okay, so November the 14th, 1952. We're going to have a couple of birthdays to start off with. In 1952, the voice actor and comedian Bill Farmer was born in Pratt, what a name for a town, Kansas. Bill Farmer is best known as the voice of Goofy. He's been doing Goofy since 1987. He also does Pluto as well. Goof Troop, House of Mouse, all these things. You'd have heard his voice. He's also done Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Beauty and the Beast, A Goofy Movie, Toy Story, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Hercules, Monsters Inc., The Emperor's New Groove, and Cars.
It'd have been easier to say who he didn't do.
Probably, yes. And, and with all that under his belt, of course, he became a Disney legend in 2009. So a very worthy mention, I fear, for a birthday. That was in 1952. And then we're going to jump forward a little bit for another birthday. And we're going to go to 1964, getting towards my era now. And this is Patrick Warburton. And I just love Patrick Warburton. I think he's great. He's known for a lot of voices, so crikey, another one, where do you start? So he's done things like the alien cop in Chicken Little. He was Patrick in Home on the Range. He's done Emperor's New Groove, of course, and Kronk's New Groove. He's done some of the Disney Channel stuff like Kim Possible. You name it, he's probably done it. But obviously we all know and love him from Soarin', of course, because he's our guide, our pre-boarding instructor as we board on to Soarin'. So I think we probably have a big soft spot for him because of that. But he's also done things like Family Guy and been on Seinfeld and stuff. So one of those actors that he pops up every now and then. I always go, oh, it's him. One of those ones. So his birthday today as well. And now I'm going to be cheeky and I'm going to kind of jump forward a day, because as I was going through, they started to see little things in 1965 referencing Walt Disney World. So on November the 14th, this is when Walt and Roy arrived in Florida, ready for the following day. Because the following day, in 1965, at 2 p.m. precisely, and accompanied by Governor Hayden Burns, they spoke to the press in the Egyptian room of the Cherry Plaza Hotel on Lake Eola, if I'm pronouncing that right, in Orlando, to officially launch the Disney World project. So if it was not for this day, we would not be talking about Disney World as we do so much. So this is when they recognised the fact they bought all this land, and they bought the land at supposedly $180 an acre. After they announced what they were doing, apparently land prices went up a little, just a smidgen. Just a tiny amount. They went from $180 an acre up to about $80,000 an acre.
Wow.
Can't think why. And they bought around about 27,443 acres, or as we all know, 43 square miles at just $5 million.
A bargain.
Can you imagine what that would have cost today?
Hate to think, lovely. Hate to think.
It would be a few pennies, wouldn't it?
Well, I've probably got that stuck down back at sofa.
Yeah. But we could whistle something up, couldn't we, between the pair of us?
Yeah.
She says not. So, yeah, there you go. A couple of birthdays on a rather important day as far as Disney World goes.
Well, you all know that I am busily planning my 2022 extravaganza, saved up for 2 years Christmas trip to the world. I am very excited. And one of the things, I had a big discussion with my travel buddy, the lovely Caroline, about the Walt Disney segment of the trip, was what do we do about Genie Plus?
Oh, okay, right.
So there's been a lot of people talking about trying the free version. And do you know what? I think I don't want to put a decision out there or an opinion out there because I've not tried it. So
no,
it's pretty pointless. So we are going to get an expert on the show over the next couple of weeks to talk to us a little bit about it, because it makes sense, because you need to have tried it. But I was talking to Caroline and thinking, well, would there be any days where we would want to put it in place? And then she sent me a little old link through the old tinterwebs, as you do. And there's an offer on for us good old Britsies.
is there. Now, we do get some decent prices as far as our 14 days for the price of 7 tickets go. So are we getting a good deal for Genie Plus then?
It's $6.99 a day, which is a little bit cheaper than anywhere else.
Ah, because what is it, $15 in the
Yeah,
States?
something like that. But there's a bit of a cashew to it.
As in, it comes with a only if statement, isn't it? You're going to tell
Yeah.
me.
So I've bought a 14-day ticket, only paid
Yeah,
for the price of 7, but it was still
yeah.
£300.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to buy 14 days of Genie Plus.
You can't just buy 2 days or 3 days or...
No.
Oh, okay.
So I've got to spend nearly $100 on Genie Plus to use it even the once or twice.
Right. So then, yeah, this then comes into the realm of, do you actually need to use it? What is there that would be worth you spending another £100 on top to make it worth your while?
You see, I can see the point of if I'm going for a short period of time, fair
Yes.
dues. You
Yeah.
know, I can totally see it because I want to maximise it, make sure I don't miss anything.
Yeah.
But I think with 14 days of theme park attractions to get at, I will be able to get round everything. So I don't really think I need to be paying for it. But I appreciate some people might if they're going for 14 days, but Disney won't be getting my ka-ching.
No, I must admit, Michelle, I'm kind of with you. I think because of our situation coming from the UK over to the States is slightly different from people in the States who might be popping down to Florida for a 3 or 4 day break. Because we are going to be there in general for a couple of weeks, 2 weeks at a time. We're probably going to have those moments where we can plan because we like planning, don't we?
It's
You know,
part of the
that's
fun.
part of the fun, so that you could get in everything that you wanted without having to pay for this little bit of extra. And then, absolute worst case, you could still pay for those individual lightning lanes on those super duper extra special attractions if they were the ones that I'm just thinking like Rise of the Resistance is the obvious one, isn't it? That if you'd been struggling to get on it prior, over the 14 days, you might then think, actually, I'm prepared to pay a one-off fee just to get on that particular ride. That's how I would be looking at it anyway.
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement with you. I've pretty much sort of said, right, okay, for Rise of Resistance, the stress of trying to ping, 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 ping every morning at 7 o'clock to try and get on it is going to be too much. So I think what I will be doing is just ka-chinging and I'll pay for it once, and then on other days I get to go to the studios. I'll try, and if I don't get on it, fair dues. If I find it that amazing and I think there's the value in it for paying for it again, then I may do. But I'm not going to be crying into my cornflakes, because I still think this is cheaper than paying the $97.86, because that doesn't even get me on the attractions.
No, exactly. And this is what you've got to look at, I think. This is what I would be doing anyway, is do your research about your Disney Genie and your Disney Genie Plus and recognise that you've got a section of attractions that Genie Plus applies to, and just look at that list long and hard and ask yourself the question, are these attractions worth me paying, like you said, Michelle, another almost £100 just to be able to plan, was it 2 a day? Because it's not many you can do per day either, is it?
Okay, guys, well, if you are there over in the world and you are giving it a go, let us know your thoughts. What do you think about it? Next thing. It appears, from what I am reading on their Twitter, that Disney are starting to tighten things up with regards to people using their annual pass to get discounts on bulk purchases that they then go on and sell in the resale market, whether that be via, say, Facebook Marketplace, Facebook groups, whether it's eBay or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there's been lots recently, hasn't there? They've put limits in, I think, everywhere now, because we know that there was always these stupidly crazy queues for when any new product was being launched, and you see people literally walking out with bags upon bags upon bags of the same item. They are now limiting most things, as far as I know, to 2 items per guest, but obviously that's not curtailing these reselling issues.
Now, we've said ultimately, time and time again, that it is astronomical prices that we're seeing on eBay for some of these items. People are upcharging 100% plus on some items, and it is like, what? They're a $29 pair of ears and you've put them up for $150?
Yeah, sometimes it's just taking the proverbial, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, Jayne, there are certain things that have got ridiculous, like the Loungefly bags, for example. The other year where they brought in the mini main attraction, do you know that one of the early ones, the Space Mountain Minnie Mouse, well, they brought out a bag. That bag can go for about $750 to $1,000, and it originally was, what, $80?
Yeah, it would have been, yeah. That's just ridiculous, isn't it?
I know. But it's that age-old adage, supply and demand. There are people out there willing to pay it.
Unfortunately, yeah. So it does mean that people think they can get away with this upselling or reselling or whatever you want to call it. But if you're an annual pass holder, I think you're playing with fire a little bit, aren't you?
Well, it's the terms and conditions of your annual pass. It says quite clearly that you are not allowed to purchase items to resell to other people. But this is a grey area for me. So let me put a scenario to you, Jayne.
Okay.
I've got some very dear friends who live in the United States, and they have their Disney annual pass, whether it be Walt Disney World or Disneyland.
Yeah.
They know I love certain particular items, and they offer to purchase certain items for me, which I then send via PayPal the cost of the item. They're not profiting from this, they are just recouping the cost it actually cost them.
Yeah.
Is that breaking the terms and condition of their annual pass?
I wouldn't say it is, because as far as I understand it, I think there's words that they use to say that it's for commercial purpose. So I think they're basically targeting people that are using the old eBay, or perhaps even have their own websites that are set up. I think people are getting around the two item purchase limit by having, getting different people on their passports to get the same items. I think that people are going into multiple shops and purchasing the same thing when you've got the same items available in different stores. I think people are finding a way around the 2 limit, and this is now causing Disney to go, hold on a minute, we've kind of tried to tailor you nicely, but now you're just carrying on and you're trying to play the system a little bit. And it's not fair, because there's always going to be people like yourself, Michelle. We've all, through the Disney community, got little connections now. We know people, we've chatted to people, we've met people in person. And when you get to know people, people know that you have you like the orange bird or whatever it may well be. We know, don't we, that people will look out and go, oh, I saw this, I thought of you, I picked up 2, I wanted one, and I knew you'd want the other one. Or, you have a passing conversation, like you say, and you go, oh, I would love to get my hands on that particular item, but I'm not going to be in the parks for 6 months, or it's only available to APs. How am I going to get it? I think people buying 2, so one for me, one for a friend, is perfectly fine. And I don't think Disney would have a problem with that. I think it's these people that are going in and still able to bulk buy effectively by playing the system and then putting it out there on sites like eBay and the rest, and trying to sell it that way for a significant profit. I think that's where Disney are going to come down hard.
Now, there is a different market out there, the world of personal shoppers.
Right, yeah, okay.
I'm in a couple of groups on Facebook, because you never know when you're going to sort of need the personal Disney shopper. They tend to add a percentage on top of the actual item cost, and they will go to the shop and buy. Now, I have been seeing reports from them on their Facebook page. Again, they are adding their little bit of a markup on, and no doubt they are probably using their annual pass. So, following the terms and condition, this new ruling will be applicable to them. But they are having people approach them in the parks or online and verbally, or in some cases physically, attacking them because of what they are doing. And I think that's wrong as well.
Yeah, it's going to cause a lot of confrontation, and people have been doing these type of things for an awfully long time. And I think Disney may have to end up potentially looking at their terms and conditions and perhaps being a little bit more specific in what they're actually targeting, maybe. I don't know.
I just don't think it's right to target these people. I think the people that should be targeted, it's Disney. They need to put the rules in place, and then people have to follow the rules. And I don't think it's mine or yours place to go and challenge people. Let Disney deal with it. They can sort it out.
No, absolutely. And say, perhaps tightening up on their rules and regulations, their T's and C's, so that people know what they can and can't actually do.
And providing you're not buying things from people that have utilised their annual pass because they're in breach. I don't want to encourage people to do that.
No,
and if any of
not.
my lovely people out there do want to continue buying me the odd bits and pieces, and as long as it's not going to get you into trouble, I am very, very grateful for you and love you lots. Mwah, 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 mwah. Right, Jayne, let's move away from that. And as we're talking about attractions and Disney and all the good stuff, how about spending a little bit of time going round the world talking a little bit about the attractions? And what I thought I'd do is put it into some categories.
Okay.
It's all about the sorting and organising at the moment. Would never or have never, always must do, never again. I tried it, I hate it. And then I'll do it if the queue's not too bad.
Right, okay.
So let's start with where it all began for us over in Florida in the Walt Disney World with Magic Kingdom. And I'm being very OCD today. I'm going through in alphabetical order.
Oh, okay, right. Gotta get me thinking that on now. Right, yeah.
A, Astro Orbiter.
I've done it. I won't be bothered about doing it again.
I've done it, but I'd only do it is on a night time, and if in the distance I could see a thunderstorm, because it produces the most amazing views.
That's quite a specific do again though, isn't it?
It is. I don't want to do it in the daytime because I don't think the views that you get from it are that spectacular. But on a night when the park's all lit up and it's all bright and twinkly and the odd little crack of lightning comes down in front, not too near to you because they shut the ride then, but in the distance.
Yeah.
Okay, Barnstormer.
Yeah, I'll do that. And I've done it and I'll do it again. It's funny. I like it. I like being a big kid on a an adult on a kid's ride.
I'd say up to a 20-minute wait. Anything more than that?
Oh, yeah.
Nah. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
Yes, of course.
Every time. Non-negotiable.
Multiple times.
Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin.
Yes, please.
To be honest, for me, I don't excel in these type of games. And to be honest, if I never rode it again, I don't think I'd be bothered.
Oh, no, I love it. I'm rubbish at it, but I kind of like the fact that I'm rubbish at it because then I get all wound up and then I like being with like Molly in the thing because she spins it round when I don't want it to spin round. I just think it's hilarious.
Yeah. No, I don't. There's other games that are similar to that, the shooting type of vehicle, omnimover type thing, that I prefer a lot better than that one. And I think if I never rode it again, I don't think I'd cry. However, don't let Kat from Diz Down Under hear this because she's obsessed about it.
Oh, okay.
So it's our secret, don't tell her.
A little bit competitive?
Just a tad.
Just a tad, okay.
Tiny bit. Casey Jr. Splash and Soak Station.
Surprisingly, I haven't done this one, Michelle.
Me neither, Jayne. And the whole idea of walking around with wet undies on for the whole day without going down Splash Mountain's massive drop doesn't appeal to me.
No, and I don't think it would be appropriate, really, for two grown women to be running around getting wet in a child's play area either, do you?
Get out of the way, kids. It's my turn. Go away. Right, the next one really is Cinderella Castle. Now, it's not like the other castles, really, to be honest, because there's no dragon, there's no Sleeping Beauty walkthrough, there's no going to see the tapestries or the shop. It's literally pay to go to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo.
No.
Pay to eat at Cinderella's Royal Table. Mm-hmm. And having eaten at Cinderella's Royal Table once, I don't really want to pay all that money to do it again. Mm-hmm. And they won't let me in Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo because I'm too old.
Yeah.
Sports.
But, yeah, you kind of... I always have a walk through it. you know.
Yeah, oh God, yeah. I've got to go and admire the amazing mosaic and take pictures and try and explain to people why I'm stopping and taking pictures of the mosaic, because people just keep going...
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I enjoy the castle and I enjoyed getting photos in front of it and wandering around. But yeah, it's not... I never think of it as being an attraction, I suppose.
Which it is. It's beautiful. Country Bear Jamboree.
Yes, please.
No, thank you.
Oh, you see, I'm a sucker for all this cheesy sort of... I don't know. I just love this sort of stuff.
I love the air conditioning.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. There's just something, and it's got that retro vibe about it. It's kind of old school. It's classic. Can't Jayne think of any more descriptive words?
It's barely an attraction.
I wasn't going to go down that route. I know, I love it. I'm quite happy to make sure that it's done at least once on a Disney World trip.
Yeah, I'll go if somebody drags me in kicking and screaming. It'd make it a lot better if you could get like at the Enchanted Tiki Room where you can take your Dole Whip in over in Disneyland, where there's a customisable ice cream beverage type food item I could take in with me. Like a bear claw, that'd work. A bear claw, Jayne.
Bear claw, yeah, good idea, Shell.
You see, Disney, you're missing a trick.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't monetised that one, come on.
I know. Next one is Dumbo the Flying Elephant, all built in with its wonderful soft play area which parents use to change babies' nappies.
Yeah, that's a bit of a now, isn't it, about it? I mean, yeah, I'll ride Dumbo, and I've got lovely memories of riding Dumbo in its various locations. It's one of those, but I'm a bit like, if I didn't get to ride it, I'm not going to be heartbroken.
Okay.
You know.
I think it, again, like the Astro Orbiter, it's one of those attractions that on night times it brings on a whole new feel to it. And I suppose this one I'm more inclined to ride during the day because I can play up and down on the old sort of throttle. And I also like it at night time because that part of the park is...
Yes, true.
Enchanted Tales with Belle.
Oh, crikey. I have done this, I think, many years ago now, but I'm not sure whether I'd be that enthused about doing it because I can't really remember what it was. And yeah, it's a kiddie thing.
I suppose if it's raining and I'm bored and there's something, you know, I wanted to cool off for a bit and try and fathom out how they do that whole doorway thing.
Well, yeah.
You know, a couple of times I've volunteered to take a role in the story, push the kids out of the way type of thing. It's my go, I want to go.
I can just see that as well, Michelle.
And it was also a really nice way to go and meet Belle.
True.
And you could only meet Belle if you were one of the characters.
Of course, yes.
Hence me.
Yeah.
Okay. Tiki Room?
Of course.
Of course. Disney, we need to get the Dole Whip available into the room.
Yeah.
Frontierland Shooting Arcade.
Nope, never done, never would.
Yeah, it's not my kind of thing.
Nah.
The whole shooting thing is, no.
No, I've never been one for those sorts of, you know, I don't know, fairground, beachfront type, you know, attractions anyway, so it just doesn't appeal at all.
What about the Hall of Presidents? Because you won't have seen it since Trump's been added, and neither have seen it since Biden's been added.
No, I always do like the Hall of Presidents, I will admit, and I've always gone, and in all my previous visits, we've always found time to go in there. I am kind of impressed by the Americans' patriotism because I don't think we have it quite the same over here somehow. I have to admit, had we been able to visit while the Trump one was there, I'm not sure whether I would have gone, just on principle. The fact that he's now, you know, been pushed the back or wherever he is, I don't know. I might be tempted on a subsequent visit. Who knows? But then again, who knows when I'm going to get over there and who will be in charge by the time I get over there.
Could be on another 72 presidents on by then.
Well, who knows quite. But I would ordinarily, in normal times, it would be on my list of things to do.
Okay. What about the Haunted Mansion? Silly question.
Silly question. Move on, Michelle. Yeah, quite. Yeah.
And I'm not even going to bother. It's a small world because if you don't go on that, it's yeah.
Yeah.
Jungle Cruise.
Same again.
Yeah, it's non-negotiable. Non-negotiable.
Yeah.
You've got to do a bit of Jungle Cruise.
If you don't do those last three, then yeah, you're not a Disney fan.
You're not doing Disney right.
You're not doing it right.
And you've got to do Jungle Cruise daytime and nighttime, because I just think travelling along the sort of river when it's a bit dusky is really nice. And it makes it if you get a fantastic skipper.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'd love to. I've never experienced the Jingle Cruise because when we were there at Christmas time, they weren't doing those type of overlays back then. So I'd love to be out there now and experience the Christmassy version of.
Okay, Liberty Square riverboat.
Yeah, I've done, and if it's operational, I'm quite happy to do. I think it's a nice little, 20 minutes out from the hustle and bustle.
Yeah, totally agree. Nice way to go and get some nice photos and shots of the park as well.
Yeah.
Mad Tea Party. Are you all about the spinning of the teacups, touching all those COVID-y, germy type sort of spinny wheelie things in the middle?
I'm not bothered about that. I mean, I will go on it. I don't know whether... I think the last time we were in the Magic Kingdom, Moles and Ethan were obviously slightly younger than they are now. And I think it got to a point where we would just send them on to let them spin themselves silly, because I think I'm probably at that age now where I can do so much, but after a while it starts to feel a bit sicky. So I'll happily go on, but I will not go on with one of my children who wants to spin it around uber fast. I don't mind a little spin, but not big spinnies.
Yeah, in COVID times, I know this is going to be weird. I'll go on it, but I won't be touching the spinny thing. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be touching that spinny thing and then just relying on Purell to sanitise my hands or whatever. It's just, nah. No, I don't touch things unless I absolutely have to. And yeah, Michelle's paranoia, the germaphobe, is coming out in anxious levels at the moment. So, no, thank you. I will be popping on over to have some magic carpets of Aladdin.
Yeah, again, I don't mind that. I'll do it, but because it's kind of basically it's Dumbo in another disguise, isn't it? So it's like, yeah, get on it if the weight's right. But I wouldn't be heartbroken if I didn't get on it.
I've never done it, Jayne.
No.
Never.
Have you not?
Do you know why?
Why?
The spitting camel.
Why? What about it?
I don't like it.
But it's funny.
It is, watching the tourists getting absolutely drenched. Yeah, laughing at them. But when you're busy walking along the park and you forget it's there and then it gets you, no, not fun.
That's funny.
It's not fun. It goes in my ear and makes my ear go on whiffy waffy for the rest of the day. No fun.
Okay.
Yeah. Main Street vehicles, absolutely. I love to go up and down Main Street on the vehicles, and I think that's something I love to do, particularly over in Disneyland, because when it gets really sort of like Christmassy and you just want to go up and down and enjoy the beautiful music and the decorations.
Can I make a confession now?
Go on.
I've never ridden in a Main Street vehicle.
No way.
I cannot remember. I'd have to go back through like video and stuff, but I'm sure to goodness that I've never done a Main Street vehicle.
Wow, Jayne, you could knock me over with a feather.
I think it's just one of those things, when you're there and you're so busy, like, no, I want to get to here and want to get to there. And it's just like, I don't know, it's one of those things where I think we've always gone, oh, we'll do it. And then the time has never come around to it. So, yeah.
Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah, I love a little bit of Winnie the Pooh.
Gotta do Winnie the Pooh. I think if I'm in the area, I'll do 20 minutes.
Yeah.
If it's silly queues, I'll always come back to it at another time. But I'm not going to do much. And again, the germaphobe, the wall of honey. Yeah. Even before COVID times, it was like Plague Central.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Bless them, the little kids. Love them. Mickey's PhilharMagic.
Yeah, happy to do that, and would like to see the new incarnation with a little bit of Coco in it.
Yeah, I really do enjoy going to see that film, and it's great to sit in different places every time to get a different perspective as well.
Absolutely.
Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor.
Yeah, I've done it in the past, and I wouldn't have any objections to doing it in the future. I don't think it would be something that would be on the top of my to-do list.
I have had a sort of like eureka moment with this attraction, because first time we went in and it was like, yeah. And then I didn't bother for a few years, and then I went in and I really enjoyed it. The only thing that has a fear of the Britishness about me is, what if they pick on me?
Yeah, I think this is something we struggle with.
I don't want to be the show I want to laugh at other people who were being the show.
Yeah.
And it's just Britishness, isn't it, really?
It is. It's a very British thing, and it's that element of we don't volunteer ourselves for these sorts of things ordinarily, do we? And to get, in air quotes, picked on is not something that we have comfort in.
Absolutely not. Not for me, thank you very much. But other people, go knock yourself out. And I think there are people who wants to be that guy.
Oh, absolutely. Of course they do, yeah. Just not us.
Not us, absolutely not. Peter Pan.
Of course.
What's your sort of max time for a wait?
You see, I mean, this is one of those ones, isn't it? It always has such horrendous wait times, or can have such horrendous wait times. I kind of would be around about the 45 minutes, I think.
Yeah,
That's
I'd agree
normally
with
the sweet
that.
spot.
Yeah, because after that it gets painful. But there is the new interactive type sort of little bits of magic in the queue that you won't have seen.
True, yeah. But even so, it is quite with it being such a slow loader, it's a plod, isn't it, in that queue?
Yeah, it is. It's take your patience and maybe hit it one of the last attractions of the night so that you can wait in after hours time rather than your time.
True.
Pirates of the Caribbean, let's just say hello.
Yes, yeah, carry on.
Prince Charming, Regal Carousel.
Love it to look at, and I have done it in the past. Not something that I go out of my way to go and do, though.
I've done it once or twice. I really do enjoy it because I like sort of spinning around in Fantasyland. So, yeah, but it's, again, if the queue's not big, off we trot. Now, this is a difficult one for you, Jayne, because you've never done it. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. No,
desperate to do it. Would love to do it. Was there when it saw the construction and everything. We were probably there about, about 9 months too soon before it actually opened. So I'm desperate to do this ride, yes.
Yeah, it's a good one for me, and I'll probably do a good 50-minute wait.
Yeah, from what I've seen and heard, I'll be prepared to man up and endure the wait for it.
Space Mountain?
I have done Space Mountain, Michelle. Sorry, I couldn't quite there. I could pick you up off the floor.
I know you've done it. Would you do it every trip?
No, wouldn't do it every trip. I may do it on a subsequent trip. It's one of those, yeah. You know what I'm like with roller coasters? I'd have to pluck up a certain amount of courage for me to do it. But I have done it. I'm very proud that I did do it. And I'm very proud of the fact that my kids have not inherited my uneasiness around roller coasters, and they're quite happy to go on repeatedly back to back. So that's great. And I may do it again in the future.
I'll always do a good Space Mountain wait. I'll always do a good Space Mountain wait. Probably good 50 minutes on that one.
Yeah.
Zippity-doo-dah time. Will we get on it before it closes? Splash Mountain.
Well, this is the question, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, I love Splash Mountain. Happy to go on it. I love log flume rides. Would go on it every time. And again, anything between a 45 and 55-minute wait, I'm happy to do for this.
Yeah. You know, if there's the ability to go on as a single person and jump the queue a bit, more than happy. I don't need to sit next to anybody I know just to get that exhilarating thrill as you go down the big drop.
Yeah.
Swiss Family Treehouse. Well, as it stands, Jayne, no, I am not prepared to do it because I can just about manage to climb about 7 stairs without having to sit and catch my breath again because of the stupid COVIDness. So I ain't going to be going in a theme park, going up and down stairs unless there's a cake at the top of it.
Yeah, I think we've probably done this most times that we've been. It's just one of those kind of little filler inner type thing. If there's not a big queue wandering around, it's quite nice to be able to wander through it without feeling like you've got to move along too quickly because there's lots of you up there. So yeah, I happily do it, but I'm not gonna rush out of the way to find time to do it.
I'm guessing the same with Tom Sawyer Island.
Yeah, I mean, we've had great fun over there. I've got fantastic bits of photos and videos going back to the 90s when I think probably it would be a bit more of a thing to go and do because it was unusual for us Brits coming over, something different to do. I don't think the last time we were there though we managed to get over. So again, if you need a break in proceedings and something a bit different to do, yeah, give it a go.
Tomorrowland Speedway.
I've done it and no thank you.
You don't like it?
No.
Why?
It's noisy and it's smelly and it's It's driving, and I drive every day. Why do I want to? It's just the kids wanted to go on it. I remember getting dragged on it repeatedly and it bashing about, and I can't keep it straight. And it's like, no, no.
I think for me the hardest bit is the queue, particularly if you're there in a really hot day and it's very hot and very draining. But yeah, I'd always do a bit of speedway in because I just think it's fun. And there's some here now I'm not even going to bother, Jayne. Tomorrowland Transit Authority people mover.
Of course you're going to do it.
It's like, how many times on a trip am I going to do it? Every time I go to the Magic Kingdom, at least probably 3 times.
Oh yeah, it's like it's your go-to when you don't know what else to do, isn't it? It's like I've done it in the morning, I'll do it at lunchtime, early afternoon, got to do it in the evening.
Absolutely. Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid.
Yeah, I'm happy to do this one. I've done it and we'll do it again.
It's a nice attraction where normally there isn't a wait and you're able to sort of like just meander along and it's quick to load and yeah. 2 more to go, Jayne.
Oh, okay.
Walt Disney World Railroad.
If it's working.
Yeah. When it's working.
When it's working.
It's good to use as transportation, but it's also good just to use to get off your feet.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think more often than not, we will get on at Main Street and go all the way around, just because it's a fun thing to do. I like the fact that I love the connection to Walt and everything. And you say it's 20 minutes to put your feet up, isn't it? Bit of a breeze as well. It's like outdoor air conditioning.
Last but not least, Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress.
Of course we're going to do it.
Yeah, it's a non-negotiable. You're not doing Disney right unless you do the classics.
Of course, yeah. If these are like the key, the core of what Magic Kingdom's all about. You've got to do them.
Yeah, but we're not going to sing along with the song because that spoils the magic for other people.
It does.
Aww, I enjoyed talking about all those with you, lovely.
Yeah, and I'm quite surprised actually that the ones that we wouldn't do are very much in the minority.
Well, basically, it just goes to show that when we go to Walt Disney World, we want to ride everything.
Yeah, we're going to get our value for money, aren't we?
Well, yeah, we want to be able to go on everything in the Magic Kingdom. Make sure that we've ridden every single attraction 57 times.
At least.
Yeah. Right, well, I think I am going to put a bit of a bow on this week's show and say that's your lot for this week, lovelies. If you want an additional shows, go over to patreon.com/Disney Dream Girls, where you can support the show, help us keep the running costs down and low, and in return you get extra Disney content. You can also join along in the conversation and discussions at Dis Dream Girls on Instagram and Twitter. The family page, Disney Dream Girls Podcast Family, is also there for you to share your love of Disney. But until next week, it's a goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.